What's good, YouTube? DM Gaming here, guys. Hope everybody's having an awesome day, morning, afternoon, whatever time it is that you're watching this video, guys. In today's playbook series, we're going to be going over the 4-4 defense, guys. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, man. It's completely free, doesn't cost you anything at all, and helps me to continue doing what I enjoy doing. Also, if there is a playbook that you want me to go over, first go and check the playbook playlist on the channel. Make sure I hadn't done it already. And if I haven't, let me know in the comment section down below. The transition after this, guys, is going to be going into more scenario-based defense, how to stop air raid, how to stop the option, how to stop the spread, what offense to run against the 4-4, what offense is good to run against this, what offense is good. I'm going to break down into more scheme and scenario type situations because I've been getting a lot of people asking about that. So 4-4 defense, guys, at the end of the day, all right, at the end of the day, you are looking for personnel. Because if you look at the 4-4, now what you're seeing here is a 4-4 split because this is the only one that they had on here. But let me find my traditional 4-4 looks like this. Okay. Some people may even call this these are backers. Okay. Mike, Will, Sam, Rover, but it's, whatever. All right. Your traditional 4-4 looks like this. If you notice the difference here, these outside backers are on the outside of the ends, almost walk down on the line of scrimmage, probably in a 2-point stance. It's a little different. Okay, that's not your base set. It could be if you want it to be, but traditionally it's not. The backers are backed up. They're stacked behind the linemen. All right. Now, as far as personnel, let's cover that first. So personnel for a 4-4. All right. I need two big, strong, powerful guys at the defensive tackle position. My slower, bigger, stronger linemen, put those guys on the interior. All right. My speedier, stronger guys, put them on the defensive ends. Okay. Your linebackers, of course, your two middle linebackers, whatever you want to call them, your Mike, your Will, whatever, they need to be your run stopping linebackers, your true traditional kind of old school kind of linebackers, if that makes sense. All right. Your outside backers, they need to be your best coverage, your speedier linebackers, okay, because they're going to have to be responsible for covering some wide receivers. In this day and age, guys, the 4-4 is really set up to stop the run. Okay, it's great against the run. Not saying it can't be good against the pass, but you come out against a spread offense in this defense, these linebackers are going to be required to cover wide receivers. So you want to make dang sure your best coverage linebackers are out here. Now, let's say you get into your college rebuild. You're looking at your roster. Hey, I don't really have the fastest or good coverage outside linebackers, but I have two very good, strong safeties that are good at tackling. Guys, simple substitution, man. Plug and play. In my personal opinion, okay, first of all, what conference are you in? Look at what teams you're going to be playing against. If you're at the lower tier conferences, you're playing against a bunch of teams that like to run the ball a lot, that run option and stuff like that. This is a great defense. Of course, you want to base your scheme off of who you're going to be playing against. If you're going to be playing against in the Big 12 where they air that sucker out all the time in the spread and stuff like that, 4-4 defense, if you still just have to run it, my best advice would be to replace these outside linebackers with strong safeties, or your three best safeties should be on the field, because these guys are going to be responsible for covering. If you come out in the doubles, this guy's going to be covering a slot receiver, and that is a huge mismatch, especially in this game. And if they're not that good, they're going to get taken advantage of. Guys, I know some of y'all, hey, I love the 4-4. I love the 4-2-5. I love this defense. I love that defense. You seriously, in this game, are going to need to be concerned with your personnel. As a coordinator, you need to be flexible if you're a defensive coordinator. Now, there's certain alignments and stuff like that you can do. It's a little bit different. So looking at personnel-wise, this is a 4-2-5 because you're looking at this and saying, or let's go to this image here because it's more stacked. Or this one that shows the positions, you're going to say that looks just like a 4-2-5. If I replace my linebackers, okay, Isn't that just a 4-2-5? Schematically, on paper, looks the same, doesn't it? Outside linebackers here, you look right here, the only difference is they replace those linebackers with strong safeties, right? However, there is a big difference in this, okay? So your difference in the 4-2-5, let you see here, and what we're going over today in the 4-4 is this is set up and designed to stop the run. That's why you have linebackers there instead of strong safeties, okay? Your linebackers are going to be better at stopping the run. They're going to be better at setting the edge because linebackers compared to strong safeties are stronger generally. They're better tacklers generally, and they're not so good in coverage. Your strong safety, think of a strong safety as a speedy linebacker that's not as good tackling. Does that make sense? So you don't want somebody weak out here on these outsides. That's why I say if you're running a 4-4 and the concepts involved with it, you're going to need linebackers here because you're going to need some guys that's going to get in the mix and get gritty with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the big difference between that and a 4-2. Also, your alignments are going to be a little bit different. All right. The way that I would run my 4-2 is that my tackles are going to be in head up 2 techniques. They're mostly responsible for the A gaps. Okay. And then my defensive ends are going to be outside shade of whoever. I mean, if there's a tight end, you can put him head up on the tight end. If there's no tight end, he needs to be in the outside shade of the tackles. So with that being said, the 4-4 operates similarly. Okay. Here, head up 2s. Okay. They have a 2 tight end set. They're actually in what we call a 22 personnel, 2 running backs here, 2 tight ends here. Now they have their ends in a 9 technique. That's outside shade of the tight end, okay, or that's gonna be a 9 tech, outside shade of tight end. Head up would be 6, 9 would be outside, 7 inside. But anyway, and so your alignment can be what you want it to be. Base generally 2 head up, 2 techniques, and then of course most people, or a lot of people in the 4-4, they're going to put those ends head up with the tight end. And I'm going to explain why, okay? If you're going against a spread team or a team that likes to throw the ball a lot, the reason you're going to want your ends head up with the tight end is so the end can actually kind of provide a bump and run kind of deal where he's going to give that tight end something off of the line on his way to try to get the quarterback or the running back. Does that make sense? He's basically slowing up the tight end to allow the linebackers in coverage and the secondary in coverage to have more time to work, if that makes sense. Okay, so head up 2s, I like them head up on the tight ends if we have them. Okay, and then as far as your scheme, like your stunts, your blitzes, guys, that's all over the place. Okay, secondary wise, because you only have 3 secondary guys, you only have 2 corners and a free safety. It's a 1 high safety look. You're going to need some guys that are great in man coverage. I like to say they need to be able to cover in man because there's going to be several situations to where they're going to be in one-on-one coverage, okay? Because you got to think the teams that you would like to run this against are run-heavy teams. You may have 1 wide receiver or 1 receiver on each side of the ball kind of deal, split. And then your corners also, they need to be able to come up and tackle. Your free safety, to me, needs to be a dog. He needs to be able to cover, but he needs to be able to fill an alley and hit somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're looking for personnel-wise. Okay, so on the screen here, we're looking at a 4-4 split. You kind of see the package that they have available. Now, like I said, once the game comes out, we're going to go back through some of the playbooks that are in the game, and I may go team by team, make a series of it, and go through the different playbooks and plays in schemes that way. But your big deal, cover 2. Now, there's different ways of running cover 2. You can see how they run their cover 2. They got a cover 2 zone and a cover 2 man. In the cover 2 zone that they have, the corners are the ones that are playing deep. This is a huge disadvantage against a spread team, guys. I mean, where are you looking at? There's big gaps right here. There's a big gaps right here. So your deep out routes, your comeback routes, bruh, those are going to be very good against if somebody's playing a 4-4 defense, and they come out against a spread offense, or even a one receiver look, because look at the gap that you're asking this linebacker, okay, to get all the way out here. Does that make sense? This backer here, he's gonna have flats, but you can see, man, that RPO game will be sick against that. You know what I'm saying? Be mindful. Be mindful of that. I like this cover 2 man concept here a little bit better because your corners are in man. He's dropping back. Everybody else is manned up, but I mean, this right here going to get somebody hurt, man. You can see the gaps in that. Also, like I said, check out the playlist, guys. I am going to be doing some more scheme types. I'm looking at this stuff and I'm scheming already. Cover 1, free safeties got over the top. One of your backers is going to drop back. Everybody else is in man. You got their cover 3 concept where all 3 secondary backs are deep. Your backers are dropping in a hook to curl, and your outside backers, because they're dropped down, they're just covering the flats. Now, if they were aligned here, okay, if they're aligned on top of the ends here, then it's more of a path here. The cover 2 would be different if these guys were backed up. You probably still gonna have those cornerbacks covering, which is fine, okay. But it changes what's available for the offense. If I got a linebacker, instead of him being down here, he's up here, coming from here to there. Now that kind of takes away this a little bit more. Does that make sense? And then your cover 3 crash is just a blitz with the cover 3 behind it. You're sending one of your linebackers. Okay. Same concept here, man coverage here, blitz concept over the edge with the middle and outside backer. And then your dog zone blitz is basically all hands on deck. You're sending your middle linebackers, you're sending your outside backers, but your defensive ends are dropping to cover the flats. Okay. Very interesting concept right there. And then you also have a defensive tackle dropping into the middle. All right. Engage 8. Everybody knows what engage 8 is. Cover 3, all out. Everybody else blitz. This is sending the house. Okay. Free safety blitz, linebacker fire. I like these plays where those middle linebackers shoot. I like that. Monster green is just a cover 3 concept with a blitz and a stunt. And then zone blitz is just a cover 2 concept. So it's not much. I mean, this is just one formation. You have a ton. Like I said, there's a lot that you can do off of that. Understand, the teams that I want to run this against are going to be my option style teams that run the I form. It's good against the flex bone. This formation in particular with the 4-4 split with those backers rolled down is good against the wishbone, because guess who you're going to have right there? You're going to have backs lined up over those linebackers, okay? The near, the far, the strong, the weak, your pro style offenses, you can get away with that against a 4-4. If I'm going against an air raid team, 4-4 is not going to be your friend. And let's say you're looking at your schedule when you get into the game and you see that a lot of teams are run heavy. But, hey, you got a team that likes to air it out. You know what I'm saying? That would be a wise decision to go into your depth chart. And hey, for this week, let's switch the linebackers with safeties. Okay? Or maybe even a nickel corner. Something like that. Let's get these backers out of there. And then, 2, I'd probably put these outside backers, because they're better in coverage, on the inside. I want to put as much speed on the field as possible going against an air raid or a team that likes to throw the ball a lot. Does that make sense? You're seeing a little bit more concepts here. Tackles are in a one technique, or they're shifted. The offense is in a tight end set, so they're shifted to the tight end. You see he's in the outside shade. He's over in a one technique. Actually, no, he's in a 3 tech. And then this tackle here is in a 1 technique. You got different alignments for different things, okay? This is what you're going to see backside on an option style offense or something like that. A run heavy team, you got one wide receiver. He's manned up. He's basically a free player at this point. And then the corner is going to roll down and play outside. He may cover flats or something like that against a pass concept like that. And then you see it against the wishbone. Like, I don't even know if any teams in college football will still run the wishbone. But, this this alignment is going to look extremely similar to if you play a team that runs flex bone. Okay. Only difference, instead of these backs being back here, they'll be up here. Okay. Very same concept. And it's going to look the same way. Your corners are going to roll down and play outside. Okay. I like my tackles. They got their tackles lined up in a 2 out. That's 2 inside shade. They're not in the 1. Okay. And they're shooting A gap. That, guys, if you play a option style team, take away the A gap. What that does, it takes away midline and it takes away dive. Take away the A gap, force them to get to the outside. If they got a dog at that tailback, at that fullback position, okay, force them to the outside where your speed is at. My ends are in the outside shade of the tight ends or a non-technique, and then your backers are going to be stacked, okay? And you just kind of see here is a particular stunt, okay? Depending on what this guy does, that end, the Sam, all right, your strong side backer is either going to shoot C gap or, shoot outside gap or shoot the C gap. Same thing with the wheel. It's based off of what this guy does. Now, are they going to be that agile in the game? Is it going to be that awareness based in the game? I don't know, but I'm also kind of teaching you the realness of it as well. They're shooting A gaps, and then my inside backers are responsible for B gaps. So what you're looking at defensively, and the goal of every defense for that matter, is to have every gap taken care of. Okay, so my A gaps are taken care of by the tackles. My B gaps are taken care of by my inside linebackers. Okay, my C gaps, it all depends on what the tight ends do against the defensive ends. If he blocks down, okay, if he goes here into this C gap, the backer has a choice to either shoot C gap or D gap or shoot that outside gap right there. And they're basing it off of what this defensive end and tight end combination does. All right. And then secondary, of course, be manned up or just, hey, outside contain. Does that make sense? So, long story short, guys, if you are playing against a spread team that likes to air the ball out, this might not be the defense for you. But if you're going against a single back, some wishbone, some flex bone type stuff, this is a good defense, a good run stopping defense. Now, once again, does that mean that it can't be good against the pass? No, that's not what it's saying, but you better make dang sure you got some guys that can cover at these outside linebacker positions, be it if you replace them with safeties or if you just have 2 really good coverage outside linebackers. If you don't have 2 good coverage outside linebackers, my best bet is to switch them with strong safeties. It doesn't turn it into a 4-2-5. It kind of does personnel-wise because now you have 5 DBs on the field. But from a schematic standpoint, the scheme, that's what I'm talking about. Because remember, in a 4-2-5, these backers, or you're replacing them with strong safeties. I think I got rid of that image there. Yeah, I did. In a 4-2-5, you'd be replacing these guys with strong safeties or free safeties. These are safeties. But there's concepts where they're going to be dropped back. You would even have like a 2-high safety look. In a 4-4, these guys aren't going to be high where the safeties are at. Does that make sense? So schematically, it's different. Personnel-wise, on paper, it can look the same. So let me know what y'all think down in the comment section down below, guys. Going through this stuff, we definitely need to work on some schemes and stuff like that. Guys, that's all I got for right now, man. Till next time, thanks for watching. Peace.